And it ends. INVICTUSCON 2022 officially comes to a close.
I know, sorry. Sorry, everybody.
We wanted to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. But it is only... everything must end. Everything must go. Wow. What a weekend, hey?
It was pretty wonderful.
Holy crap. I mean, between all of the amazing games, the GMs, the panels that we had, the artists that graced the hallowed halls. Although hallowed implies that the Discord is hallowed. Which
the digital halls.
I kind of like, actually, all of a sudden. No, it has been such an amazing con this year. Thank you to everybody who participated and made it happen.
Thank you so much, everyone.
You know, a con can only function if, obviously, there are people to attend, but also if the people who are creating the games or the art or the, whatever content it is, are willing to volunteer and help out. And, ultimately, we've been really vocal and will continue to be vocal in the closing ceremonies about how much we appreciate people like Bobby and James and all the people who have helped us do the management side and the moderating side. But I think off the top, we need to say thank you to all of the game masters, dungeon masters, and keepers that made all of the games happen.
Big time.
And that is Andy F., Colin Burkhart, Jason Griffins, Connor Bullens, Carly, Merlin, Brian, Jason Scher, Alex Reed, Lydia, and Wildflower.
Thank you so much to all of you for your hard work. It's not easy to run a game for strangers. It's not easy to run a game digitally. So thank you so much for volunteering, and thank you for all your efforts.
Well, and on that note, Colin, Andy, and Wildflower all ran 2 games each. So double down for them.
Good
Amazing job. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sincerely, thank you to the GMs. We've all, not all of us, but most of us have either seen a con tangentially or been to a con or maybe even run games at a con. And it's no small feat by any stretch of the imagination. Leading up to the convention, people were talking about their games and theorizing and scribbling them down to the last minute. So we thank all of you so much who have made the effort, because in the end, being a GM is sometimes a thankless job. You sit down, you tell a story, you give it your best, you put your all, and people will leave the game and they'll tell stories of the game, but more often than not, it's easy to forget that there's a person that did all of that groundwork. So thank you to all of the GMs. You are amazing.
On the other side of the DM screen, we had some really incredible players, and we gave our GMs a chance to recognize their favorite people at the table. So we have just a couple of honorable mentions for players who really made an impression on their GMs. We wanted to say good job to Rain, who had his character kill a winged monster with a chair. Very good. Alec from And Some Fell on Stony Ground had the guts to look a god in the eye and live. And for Lauren Klein, who was the all-around group leader in their game, keeping everyone safe. Love that. In Fiasco, Ilka was the standout player. And then in Star Wars, something at Jabba's Palace. I think that's supposed to be a night at Jabba's Palace. Bob Lyle for your lovely costume. Great job.
I've seen Bob Lyle's costumes. They are no mean feat.
So well done to the players. I know in my game, I couldn't pick my favorite, but we had a blast. I heard Harlan's game happening and it sounded like you guys were having a great time.
Yeah,
too.
I would have to give MVP to Tara, aka Bessie, for her line, which I did post in quotes, which out of context was just very, very funny. And I think it ended up being, you saw a burnt person running towards town and didn't tell us, which I think is just, the best quotes are the ones that kind of make you go, what is that? But yeah, so thank you to the standout players. But all the players were standouts in a way. I know that sounds sort of, but no, it was. I mean, again, the GMs are there, but we had a lot of, I want to say first-time players, and we did have some, but we also had a lot of like second-time players in that they played last year and then they played this year. And it's amazing to see what kind of reception and what kind of passion that everybody has when coming back to this sort of thing. So huge congratulations to the GMs and to all the players.
Absolutely.
A huge shout out to the Artists Alley, I also want to say. So, I mean, these are people who are just,
So talented.
Some of them are doing it day after day. Some of them are doing it more passively, but none of it is not amazing art, whether it be, nails or painting or, and I say nails as in like, not, you could do nail art, I suppose. I've seen that. They string it between them. But all of the artists in Artist Alley, if you haven't stopped by, you can still check it out. It'll be on for a little while longer. But, go in, drop by, check out some of the amazing art. Support them if you can, or if you're looking for art. I know a lot of people have commissioned some of these artists to do some portraits of their D&D groups. And let me tell you, there's no better way to thank a GM for this INVICTUSCON than nudging one of those artists and maybe seeing if they could, get a little bit of a drawing done of the game that you just participated in. That's a great way to say thank you if you wanted to. So definitely hit them up. All of those artists are fantastic.
Absolutely. 100%.
And then the other sort of big, which kind of tangentially relates to the artists, is the panels that we had, which was, again, informative and funny and I don't know, inspiring.
It's always cool just to see who is working in these communities and to get their secret, deepest thoughts.
For real.
Just sit down and have a casual conversation. And
a lot of people said, it's like, oh, I've heard these people before, but I haven't actually got to. And it's funny too because I don't know what it is with a lot of what we're doing now, but a lot of people in general fail to put their name out there to get that recognition. And when we were putting these panels together, I would know the shows, but I'm like, okay, well, who's the person behind that? Like, I want to hear from them, and I totally understand. Sometimes that's because they're nervous or they don't want that appearance. But I'm so thankful for all the people that joined. And of course, that was on the actual play panel. We had Jay Strotman, we had Kendrick Smith, Mike Ashmore, and Jonathan Zhang, as well as a shout out to Nathan, who is also from Reckless Attack, along with Jonathan, as well as Patty, who is from Haggis and Dragons. Both couldn't make it, but they were there sort of from the beginning in the actual play, helping flesh it out. So a huge shout out and thank you to them as well. But yeah, and you can check out their shows, Planet Arcana, Tales Yet Told, Tales of Aspiran, and then obviously Reckless Attack. The artist panel, which had Maggie, Carly, Regan, and Lucas. You can find all of them still in the Artist Alley, as well as all of their tags in the video and on the image. You can follow them. At the very least, give them a follow. It's so easy to do, and you get to see what they're working on. And of course, thank you to, Bobby will get there long thankful in a second. But I was going to say in the mod too, but in a second. And then the Horror Pod panel, it was so amazing getting to finally speak with Journey and Vincent and Jamie and Sean. I'm happy that I got to step in, bummed out for James, but James is a king in his own right. And again, we'll talk about that in a second. But again, make sure you check out and follow and listen to Whichever Path and Out of the Ashes and the Cellar Letters and Wake of Corrosion.
Absolutely. And thankfully, by having these people on and being able to chat with them a little bit behind the scenes, we learned that there are a few RPG aficionados among that group. So
I didn't even know.
Stay tuned. You'll probably be seeing some more of them. And if you missed the panels, go back, check them out. They're on our YouTube channel. So
on this YouTube channel and
go
Twitch
and
or whatever
watch.
you're watching it on.
And give the videos a like just to show that you're into the content.
Yeah.
The moderators. Harlan, you had to step in for James during the horror podcast panel. However, thank you so much to James Schwartz, our friend, for moderating and for planning to moderate a second panel. James puts in a ton of effort for the stream. So just recognition for him, James. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. And I mean, in so many ways as well. James has been a rock in Invictus for the past I don't know now, 2 years probably.
that's
He's
crazy.
been so monumentally important to us. We can always depend on him to join us for a game, to game with us on video games. So James, thank you, brother.
Such a sweet person.
So sweet. I'm so excited. I hope we get to see you in June, and we get to hang out, and I can finally hug you.
Dance off.
But yeah, so dance off. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, a huge thank you to James. Eternally grateful for you, man. And yeah,
Thank you.
Having a good day so far.
And finally, to our queen, Bobby. Bobby put so much effort into making INVICTUSCON something that we could all enjoy, not just moderating the artists panel, which they did an amazing job at doing, but also behind the scenes, organizing the tech stuff, answering everyone's questions constantly, no matter what time of day, making sure that everyone who volunteered to DM was ready to go and had their games set up, organized, figuring out the war horn, just everything, setting up all the channels for our Discord.
And just being there, being there and accessible to say, hey, if you need me, please come, hit me up, or if you need music or whatever. So yeah, I mean, eternally grateful to Bobby doesn't even begin to stress it. I think it's so important to say that in regards to INVICTUSCON, there should be a third person here who doesn't always want to be on camera and likes to play in the background anyway. But in terms of the way that you are viewing INVICTUSCON, know that there is a third person behind it. That there are three of us 100% across the board.
Absolutely.
Because that's just fact. It's not even us trying to be nice. That's just fact. So, yeah, give a huge thank you to Bobby.
We love you so much, Bobby.
And then finally, there's sort of one last group of people that need some very proper recognition. Well, I guess I should also say thanks to Bob Lyle, because Bob Lyle is the one who started this. Every year I have to say thanks to Bob Lyle, because they were the one that was like, hey, you should do a convention. So, thanks, Bob. But I think there's one last very, very important group to make recognition of, and that is our patrons. And every single one of you is so important, and I mentioned this a little bit on the Malevolent Q&A, and I think we mentioned it during the various conversations we had.
The cocktail hour. And
this is something that every once in a while, we get this wave of, I guess, realization, this sort of wave of like, I don't know, like, oh, wow. There are people that want to hang out and want to play games, and there's a community that we've built around some silly shows that we've done. And all of the people that make that community so special, they feel different than other communities I've been to. And I don't know what it is, but it feels like, people will join every once in a while and then maybe kick around and then they'll leave. But the people who stay, the people who have been here, some for years, and I'm talking about years, and even the people who are more recent, but they're going to be around for years, there's something special here. And I feel like those who get it. And I'm so excited because I think that group is growing as well. I think more tendrils are being sent out, more little notices are being sent out, more people are subscribing to the idea of what we're doing here, which is more of this and more of this and more of everything that we're doing. And I think none other exemplify that as much as the patrons exemplify that, especially the people who joined us for the cocktail hours. And that I want to stress that, because I know a lot of people wanted to that couldn't, but the people that feel like they get what we're doing in a way that I genuinely never thought would happen. I mean, when we thought about doing Patreon before, and I was like, yeah, no one's gonna like support that or that. And now we're like close to 200 people, which is, in the realm of the world, it might be small, but in the realm of this world, it's gargantuan. It's huge. It's a word I don't say a lot. Gargantuan.
It's a great word.
Felt very weird on my tongue.
Monumentally thankful.
Yeah.
For you. We're so grateful. Thank you for attending the convention, but just thank you for your support, and thank you for your words of encouragement. thank you for your financial support and just for everything that you contribute to this community.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate you. And man, I had a lot of fun this
me
weekend.
Too. It's interesting. I mean, we've been so lucky in all of these rights. I'm also thankful for all the friends that we made this past year, you know, from everyone, from every different walk of life, from people who are in the role-playing scene to the horror scene to the video gaming scene. You know, I'm really excited because every year it seems like we get to meet and mingle with new people and get closer with new people. And, you know, just in this past week alone, you know, there's so many people that we've talked to that, and you mentioned it earlier, you know, that we want to now like game with. So, you know, get excited for seeing them on Invictus and maybe having a voice on a dice shame, or, you know, a day shame.
A day shame.
One of the day shames. And definitely video game streaming. Already I was speaking with Jay this morning about joining us for like some Dread Hunger as well when we do it. And, you know, it's been really cool. As like the most simplistic word I can use, but it's the most apt as well. I don't know when Invictus Stream started, but your first video was 7 years ago, so it's been a while. Yeah, that's basically it.
Harlan and I were talking about it this morning, like, man, how long has it been? How crazy a ride has this been? Where did this all even come from? And it's pretty startling that all of this came out of a couple friends being like, hey, let's play some RPGs together.
And a Reddit post.
As
we talked about this morning. But anyway, that's a story for another time. That is it for INVICTUSCON.
Don't be sad that it's over.
2022.
Be grateful that it happened. I know there's a little bit of a con low that you get after
a con drop.
Yeah, after experiencing something and being really busy and excited, and then when it's over, it feels like there's something missing. But don't worry. You can hang out with us on the Discord. We're going to be here today and tomorrow, and stay tuned for we're going to be streaming on Wednesday. We're going to finish up our game of Twilight of the Lich King.
Yeah, that's right. So you know what? It's not over. If you come back Wednesday, you're going to see part 2. You're going to see Jay, James, Joe. It's a lot of J's. Emily and myself get to play more D&D, as well as, I don't know, wanted some video game streaming this week. So we'll do some of that. Might stream that new game. Oh no, Ghostwire Tokyo is supposed to be kind of crappy. Doesn't matter. There's always going to be lots of stuff coming out.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's a chill place. And hopefully, if you join the Discord for this convention, I hope you kick around and you know, maybe hang out with some of the people that you know that you will end up liking. And if you don't, it probably wasn't the place for you anyway, so it all works out.
Bye
Then. Bye, Felicia. I was just remembering meeting Michelle last night from New Zealand. She was cool, man.
Yeah, we didn't really talk a lot about the social events, but it was super nice to get to spend some time with the patrons on Friday night for our cocktail hour, and then to hang out with everyone at our pub night last night. We realized
I don't think anyone was
basically
drinking.
Everyone was sober.
Well, you know, Alex drank on the night previous, but
yeah, that's okay.
Night he didn't come to the pub night. He was just drinking. Anyway, bash Alex. That's how you do every once in a while.
And with that insult for our Harlan's brother, we will close our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful, Sunday. Treat yourself nice. Order a pizza, relax, watch some comfort TV. Take care of yourself as well. You can always message somebody on the Discord. You know, I'm sure people will be feeling the same lull if you end up feeling that lull.
And if you've spent a lot of time on screens this weekend, go for a walk.
Go read a book if you want. Yeah. Or don't.
I'm not your mom.
Dad, yeah. Or mom. Yeah. Both.
We're not your mom or your dad.
We're not either.
Although it might feel like it sometimes because we love you.
Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will see you next year at INVICTUSCON 2023. INVICTUSCON 4. I'm excited for it. Sorry, I just thought of something. I'm excited for INVICTUSCON 5 because then the V in the logo can be incorporated. That's it. That's it from us. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye!